Yes, welcome. My name's Renee Newton. I'm the product marketing lead at Healthengine. It's so good to be with you here today for our deep dive into the new Google integration for Healthengine customers and how we're going to help boost your patient bookings. Just letting you know, this webinar is worth 2 AAPM CPD points. The certificate will be emailed out to you next week along with the recording. Feel free to enter any questions as they pop into your mind anytime into the chat bot. We will save all questions to the end though. And I'd like to now introduce our wonderful speakers. So we're really lucky today to be joined by Naomi Collette. Naomi is the head of product on our executive team. Her team worked directly with Google on the integration to launch it for Healthengine, as well as the amazing Emma Thompson. I think many of you on the call today know Emma or work with Emma directly. She's our senior customer success manager, and she works with practices on a daily basis to solve their problems and ensure they're maximizing their Healthengine technology. So welcome. Just a quick rundown of the agenda today. Naomi's going to take us through the what, the why, the where, the how, as well as a wonderful demo and a little bit of the background of how it works, but we won't get too technical, don't worry. And then Emma's going to take us through all the top tips for how to maximize this new feature at your practice and boost your patient bookings. Spoiler alert, they're all very straightforward. Q&A at the end, and as well as a couple of helpful links. And we think we'll get you out of here in 30 minutes time, if not less. So we're going to kick off just with a little video to help you understand how this all works.
Every day, patients across Australia use search engines like Google to find and connect with their healthcare providers. And at Healthengine, it's our mission to improve patient access to healthcare. That's why we've integrated with Reserve by Google to introduce a new feature. Patients can now book directly with your practice through the Book Online button on your Google business profile. So how does it work? When a patient searches for either your practice or terms like health provider near me or other relevant near me local terms on Google Search or Maps, they'll see a Book Online button on your Google business profile. By clicking Book Online, they can book directly into your schedule via Healthengine. It's a seamless experience designed to make the process quick and easy and could bring more patients from search results straight into your care. And because it's a collaboration with Healthengine, it includes all the features of your subscription with us, like appointment reminders and digital new patient forms. Google's Book Online feature can help to increase your booking conversions. And all bookings are handled securely with no patient data shared with Google through the integration. Eligible Healthengine practices can access this feature with no setup required and can opt out anytime. Reach out if you'd like more information today.
Thanks for watching our video. Now it's over to you, Naomi.
Thanks, Renee. So I just wanted to start with our mission, because I guess all of this really begins with that. And our mission at Healthengine is to help Australians connect with primary healthcare providers like yourselves. And we've spent over a decade investing in ways to do just that. And when you think about how patients search for healthcare, there are two main ways that a patient can do that. The first is usually when they have a particular practice, a regular practice, or a doctor in mind, usually because they're an existing patient, or maybe they've heard about you through word of mouth, and they're looking for that practice specifically. The second way that patients will search for GPs or dentists or physios or other healthcare providers is when they are looking for someone, but they're not looking for anyone in particular, either because they don't have a regular provider, or perhaps they're new to an area, or they're on holiday, or something else like that. And so really, regardless of which of these two buckets the patient falls into, it's our job and our mission to meet them where they are and make it easier for them to connect with you, the healthcare provider. So patients start this journey in a number of different ways. Some come straight to the Healthengine app or website, which is great. Some use directories like Health Direct or Apple Maps, and some are even now using AI assistants like ChatGPT to find healthcare providers. But we all know for a lot of patients, like many things in life, the journey will start in Google. And so enter Google. As the video explained, our Reserve with Google integration places a book online button on your Google business profile. And this is beneficial for your practice, regardless of whether the patient is looking for you specifically, or if they're just looking for a practice in the area and they're not looking for anyone in particular. And so as this video is showing, if you search for a specific practice, so for example, Woodlake Village Medical, you can see that Google prioritizes that particular practice because it knows exactly what the user is searching for, and it wants to give you that information. And so in that example, you'll see a panel on the right-hand side that has a book online button, and it allows the patient to be able to really quickly and easily book with that practice. Now, there are whole industries based on this concept of conversion rate optimization. And I just want to explain why that's important. It's essentially taking a user journey and making it as streamlined and friction-free as possible. And the whole idea is that the more steps you remove and the less friction you have in a user's journey, the more conversions you will get and ultimately more bookings for your practice. So having this, even if a patient already has you in mind, it should increase bookings because it should increase the conversion rate to make it as simple as possible for them. So that is the general rule of thumb for conversion rate optimization. Now, for the second and more exciting benefit, if you want to just go to the next slide, we also have instances where patients, they're looking for a GP in a particular suburb, or they use what we call a local or a near me term. So they might search dentist near me or GP near me, doctor near me, and Google will return a number of options. And this is where your practice is going to be evaluated against other practices in the area. And I'm going to go into this one in a bit more detail. But what I'll do is I'll start sharing screen rather than just showing you a slide deck, and show you what this looks like in the wild. So before I actually get into the demo, what I want to do is also highlight the prioritization that Google is giving to places and what that means. And so if we start here, this is an example of a search where I've searched for dentist in Perth. So that is a patient who they don't have a dentist and they're looking for one, and they've put in their location. And what you can see here is you have a number of sponsored ads. So you can see that in this case, there's actually 4 sponsored ads. These are people who pay to be up the top. And then you have this section called places, and you can see there's local business listings, and Google is prioritizing those. And then you can see you have what we call organic listings, and then you have like knowledge panels and the rest of it. So this listing here is what we'd call the first organic listing. So they're number one from an organic search, but regardless of the effort that they've put into this to be number one in Google, they still end up ultimately being in the 8th position because 4 people have paid to be above them, and then Google prioritizes places. And so what we've done is made it so that if you have a practice, a local business listing, and people are using this way to search and find new providers, you'll be there and you'll be found. So what I'll do is just show you what the actual journey looks like in the real world. So I'll start with doing a specific practice name search. So in this example, I'm searching Woodlake Village Medical. And because that's a specific practice name, you can see that it loads that as the number one website, but it also loads the Google business profile on the right-hand side here. And you can see there's a big bright blue book online button. Now, if the user was already searching for Woodlake Village, and chances are they want to make a booking, maybe they don't, maybe they're just looking for a phone number or some information about a doctor. But if they want to make a booking online, it's really straightforward for them to just click that button, and then you're straight into the Healthengine booking flow where you can make that booking. So it's very, very seamless. The other thing that I want to talk about though as well is just what this experience looks like on mobile devices. So at Healthengine, in our data, we see that over 90% of patients who make bookings are doing it on a mobile device. So they're either in the Healthengine app itself, or they're on their mobile device, but in a web browser. And so how the experience actually looks on mobile is extremely important. And so this is the desktop view, and you can see what Google have done is they've got the organic listings on the left and a panel on the right. But when you look at what a mobile view looks like, they've just prioritized the panel first. So you can still scroll past that and go to the website, but you can still see that even on a mobile device, there's a book online button. You can see it looks a little bit different. This one's not blue. But yeah, there are two different sort of experiences that the user gets depending on whether they're on a desktop, laptop, computer, or whether they're on a mobile device. So now just going into the other search terms. So these are the ones where the patient's not looking for anyone in particular, they're just looking for a GP in their area. So in this example, I'll choose GP in Ellenbrook. Now, when I click this, you'll see for this one, there are no ads at the moment. So no one's actually bidding for this term right now, but you can see that there are a number of places and local business listings before you then get to your organic business, your organic websites. And so the view that you can see here is that there are actually schedule buttons. So it's calling it schedule rather than book online, but it's effectively doing the exact same thing. It's taking you straight to that Healthengine booking for the user to be able to make that booking. There are a number of different pathways as well. So if the user clicks more places, they'll go to what's called a places search, which is slightly different to if they click open in Maps, where you'll see a Google Maps search, and then the user can click through and you can see the ones with the book online buttons. And so when a user is comparing practices and working out where to book, the ones with the book online buttons, they just look simpler because it explains that there is an easy way for a user to make a booking. The ones that don't have a book online button, they might have one on their website, but the user can't tell that at a glance. And so they're more likely to click on the one that has the book online button. So I just want to also show what this looks like on a mobile device as well. So this is an example of a mobile, and you can see straight away it's prioritizing places. Again, it says schedule rather than book. But if I click more places, I then go to an actual section here. You can see it actually has the word places. And in there, you can see the book online button gets prioritized as the very first button that a user sees. And if they don't have one, then call becomes the next, and then directions, etc. So what I'd also recommend you do is get out your mobile phone, and if you have the Google Maps app, to search for your practice or a nearby practice in the Google Maps app, either on your iPhone or Android, and you can see how it appears there as well. So effectively, wherever your profile exists within the Google ecosystem, the Healthengine Book Online button will be there. And I just want to take you really quickly through, I guess, how the integration actually works from a technical point of view. So effectively, we have profiles on Healthengine, and those profiles will have your business name, your address, the latitude and longitude, phone number, website, booking URL, all of those. And those attributes will also exist on Google Business profiles. And so effectively, the way this works is that we will send a package of all of our practices that can take bookings on Healthengine through to Google. Google matches it on their side. And then if they find a match, they put a book online button on the Google Business profile. So this is not something you can actually manage yourself through the Google profile. In this example, these are all made up, but you can sort of see here that Wellspring Medical Centre matched to a clinic called Wellspring Medical Clinic. The name's not an exact match, but it would have matched on address, latitude and longitude, website, etc. And so it's not always 100% accurate, but Google is very good at matching the listings that we send through. Now, in this example, again, these are just made up clinics, but Horizon Health is on Healthengine. It's not in Google Business profiles. So while we still send that practice name to Google, if there's no Google Business listing to be found, then there's no button to be added. And likewise, doctors on Main Street, they have a Google Business profile, but they're not on Healthengine, so they don't have a book online button on their profile. So that sort of sums up, I guess, the demo and a bit about how this works. And now I'll hand over to Emma, who will take you through a few little tips and tricks.
Thanks, Naomi. Thank you so much. Good morning to those in Perth and good afternoon to everybody else. It was also lovely to see quite a few familiar names joining. So hello, everybody. So basically what I'm going to do is just give you a few tips about the actual profile itself and how you can maximize to get the most bookings from it. So tip number one is, if you don't already, make sure you claim your Google My Business profile. Or if you have a Google My Business login already, make sure that you update it. Now, why? It's pretty obvious, but, well, number one, improved visibility. So with Google, Google actually prioritizes a clinic that has accurate, complete information over another profile that just doesn't have much information on there at all. So by having that complete business listing, it's going to make it more likely that you're going to appear in those relevant local searches that you want to appear in. And obviously that will lead to more people actually finding you to start with. Then you've got patient trust. Now, obviously, having the latest details on your profile, things like your opening hours, the actual correct address, the services that you offer at the clinic, all of that builds trust with especially new patients, because if people are booking with you, they want to know that the clinic is up and running, it's live, and it's reliable. So that will also help. And then my third point here is it also gives you, as the owner or the practice manager, there better insights as well. Because Google provides insights, just like Healthengine does, but it will give you insights about how people are interacting with your specific profile. Things like how they actually found you in the first place, what actions they took. And by having that updated profile there, it helps you track how effective those updates are. And you can also make adjustments based on actual real live data as well. And my last point is not so much of a tip, more of a question. Do you actually own the Google My Business profile? If you do, great. If you know how to log in, if you know your username and your password, fantastic, brilliant. Get in there and update it. If you don't, you'll have to go and do some digging, see who actually is the owner, and get those login details, just so that you can routinely keep it up to date. And it's one of those things that becomes a process. If you have to update your website, you get into the habit of thinking, right, I need to update my Google business profile and my Healthengine profile at the same time. Okay, so tip number 2, optimize your Google business profile. Like I've already mentioned, Google does favorite practices that keep everything up to date, such as adding relevant, timely information. An example of that, I guess, well, we're coming into autumn now, so flu season is nearly upon us. So even if you had an image, saying, flu vaccines now available, if you put that into your profile, that's relevant, that's timely, and that will help. My other point here is, like I've mentioned, you're keeping everything up to date. Make sure that the information is consistent across all of the different platforms you have. So you've got the same opening hours on your business practice website as you have on your Google My Business profile, as you have on Healthengine, because that way Google knows that it's relevant and it's correct. And it will also, by doing that, it helps strengthen your SEO as well. And my last point on this tip is keywords. So keywords is obviously highly searched words that patients are going to Google and typing in, okay? So things like having relevant keywords in there really helps with your SEO as well. Things such as making sure your practice name appears frequently in your profile. Your suburb that your clinic is in appears. So, we are a well-established GP in Secret Harbour, for example. And also the services that you offer as well. So, skin checks, flu vaccinations, after hours GP, all of those type of things that are very commonly searched. Make sure you have those in your profile and your Healthengine profile and your website. And last but not least, seems very, very obvious here, but it's really just to ensure that as all of your appointments are published online, obviously the more availability you have, the more chance that you've got of securing those bookings. And obviously having things like, if you've got a doctor that's willing to come in early and do some early appointments, or work later on in the night, your weekends, that's when we always see a boost in bookings, because not everybody has those availability. Like this example here, this practice opens at 6 o'clock in the morning. So anybody that's looking for an appointment before they go to work, chances are they're going to get that booking. And that's my tips. Thank you.
So, Naomi, just wondering, how do I know if I have this feature?
Yeah, so the easiest way to know if you have this feature is to Google your practice name and see if your Google business listing comes up with the book online button. And if it does, you're all good. If it doesn't, there could be a number of reasons. First of all, you need to have a Google business profile. And secondly, you need to be publishing in the GP specialty on Healthengine for that to appear. If you are publishing and you have availability and you have a Google business listing and you can't see the book online button, you just need to get in touch and we'll have a look into it and work out what's going on there.
Fantastic. And looks like Heather has asked that question as well in the Q&A.
Yeah. So Heather, just to confirm, there's nothing to do on your behalf. If you're on Healthengine and you're publishing, it'll be there. There's a question that's just come in.
Yeah.
How do you connect with Google if you have two Google profiles, one for GP and another for dental? Great question. So if you have two Google business profiles and two Healthengine profiles, then the GP one will work for now. We've rolled this out for GPs first, and then we're looking to roll it out for other specialties. Now, if you have a single profile, if you're a clinic where, say, you're a GP and you have a physio on site, for example, and you're publishing in both of those specialties on the Healthengine marketplace, what will happen is, and this isn't how it works right now, but this is how it will work next week. When the person clicks the book online button, they'll be presented with the select specialty step where the user can then select GP, flu vaccinations, physio, whatever you happen to be publishing in. So that'll be how it works. But if you have a separate standalone dental practice, then that will be coming later.
We've gone GP first.
Yeah. So hopefully that answers that.
Great. Yeah, I think that's it. So just if you do have any other questions that pop into mind, feel free to scan the QR codes. There's lots of different ways to get in touch with us. If you don't have this feature, if you're not publishing on Healthengine and you've decided perhaps now's the time, feel free to book in a demo with us. And just a little reminder, we'll be emailing the recording out next week along with the AAPM CPD certificate. Thanks again for your time, everyone. It's been great to have you. And that's it. See you later.